Tonight, going to take a look at the Imperial, what is it called now? Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Tonight, going to take a look at the vintage collection release of the Imperial Assault Tank Driver, or Hovertank Pilot, if you still go by that name. So let's head to the table and check this one out. First up, here's the card for the Imperial Assault Tank Driver. And being that vintage collection line, you get the great looking artwork on the card. Interesting that the Star Wars Rogue One title there at the top, that Star Wars is all on one line instead of being separated with Star on top, Wars underneath the movie name. I don't know why it's different just for this Rogue One card. Underneath that, of course, you see the name of the figure. Nice photo in the background of, well, first off, the guy who's sticking out on the top there is the Imperial Assault Tank Commander. The guy that you're actually getting, though, is the one whose helmet is just sticking out of the vehicle there. And through the blister, of course, you see the figure with the included accessory. Backside, pretty much what you're used to for the vintage collection line. You got your number up top showing you that this is number 126 in the lineup, and the rest of that top half is showing off 5 other figures that are also available in the line right around this time. Of course, that 6th image is the Imperial Assault Tank Driver that you're getting here with this, and then the brief description about the vintage collection line. Lower half of the card is just a bunch of legal information. And now looking at the figure out of the packaging, you know, things are looking really good here, as you would hope, especially for the vintage collection line. Not only getting your additional articulation points, but, you know, you're going to get a little additional weathering and stuff that we did not get with the original basic release of the figure. And why not? Since I've done it on the last few, might as well do a comparison with that release. Now, this basic figure wasn't single-carded released. It came in the Jedha Revolt 4-pack. I think that was a 4-pack. And as far as I can tell, they're using the exact same helmet from that basic release on the vintage collection version here. All they did was add a few touches of dirt, though. Obviously, with the added articulation, no other parts from this basic release were used. What I did find digging around, though, is I took a look at my Black Series Scarif Trooper, which really the only difference between those figures was the different helmet and also the little utility belt piece. And as near as I can tell, the upper body, including the arms, and I'm pretty sure including the little calf armor pieces, and I think the feet, all look like they were the exact pieces used on the Scarif Trooper. Which, like I said, really makes sense, since for the most part, a lot of these Scarif Troopers, the Assault Tank Drivers and stuff, the costume design was pretty much the same, just differences in the helmet and in the utility belt. Otherwise, though, at the thigh area for each figure, I think, as far as I can tell, these are individually sculpted for each figure. I've been staring at the wrinkles that they sculpted in, and the pattern to that does seem different to me. So I do think we have a totally new thigh sculpted in for this Assault Tank Driver. And now focusing just on this vintage collection release, as far as the helmet goes, everything's looking really accurate to me. It's nicely sculpted. You got some nice little lines of definition throughout the face of the helmet. You got some nice black painting here and there throughout the helmet, through that eye area, a little dot on the forehead, and then a couple dots here and there throughout the cheek. And then you can see you got 3 little lines down at the front of the helmet. Letting the back side of that helmet come into view, you can see you got multiple lines of black painting there. You know, pretty nice and tight, not just splotched in or anything. And then you do, as you see, have a light dirt wash on the helmet, a little bit running in around the top and the back, and then just a little touches around the front of the face. At the midsection of the figure, your arms are looking as you would expect them to for a trooper. Here also you got some nice weathering, so definitely starting to look a little bit more dirty as we move down the figure. Chest has a great sculpt to it, nice definition for the little clamps or whatever that are at the top of his armor piece. Through the midsection, you got some various things going on there that are sculpted nicely. And then that black painting, or I guess I should say it's more of a very dark gray. It's not a total black, but anyways, that is applied very well, certainly helping to bring out some of the definitions of that white armor that's sculpted in. And as you can see, more of that dirt weathering is applied throughout the chest and then even throughout the back of the figure. And here for that back armor piece, sculpting's looking pretty good. Sadly, this little white painting that you're seeing inside that backpack there, not quite sure what they were trying to highlight. I don't know if that is supposed to be a white stripe or if it was supposed to just be focused in on a particular area, but it does seem like it was just kind of splotched on and run a little bit. As far as that utility belt, things are looking pretty accurate here. I didn't get a great look at them in the movie, but as far as I've seen for reference images, it seems like this is the way things looked. Still a nice sculpt going on, nice painting to that. Everything pretty much staying within the lines. And then you get to the lower half of the figure, just a touch of a little mismatch in coloring. The thigh itself, just underneath the hip section, if you will, it seems to be just a little bit on the green side of being black instead of matching up with the top half of that hip area. So it's very subtle. I'm not entirely certain if that's coming through on camera. But otherwise, as you see, you just got your wrinkling sculpted in there for some fabric. And then getting down towards the bottom of the leg. That armor sculpting is looking really good. Again, more weathering has been applied here. So overall, just a very nice upgrade to that sparkling clean basic release that we got of a figure with the 4-pack. As for articulation, now that head is on a ball joint, so you got your swiveling going on. It's just a slight amount of movement side to side. And then, of course, you do get a decent amount of range up and down here. Swiveling at the shoulders. And it takes a little bit of maneuvering that I wasn't able to show on camera, but you can get the arms to lift up. Those shoulder armor pieces do eventually slide in underneath that chest armor. So that's about how high you're going to raise the arms. At the elbows, you're going to get almost a 90-degree bend there. And, of course, you get your swiveling. Both wrists are going to rotate 360 for you. That right hand is going to swivel up and down with a great range of motion to that. And your left hand is going to go side to side. Waist articulation just underneath this chest armor. Going to get the 360 swivel there. He's going to get a great range of motion side to side. And some good crunches and leaning back. As for the legs, he's going to do the splits like so. Top of the thigh, you can rotate those legs. And also they swivel at this peg within the hip. So you're going to be able to bring those legs pretty much straight out. At the knee, you got a single joint going on there. Not going to get a straight 90-degree bend out of that though, because it's hitting on the armor at the back of the leg. But you do get some swiveling in there. And at the feet, you got a little bit forward, a lot more back, and your rotation. And as far as accessories, it does come with just that single blaster. No special weathering, paint application, or anything like that. And it does fit nicely in his right hand where he's got that index finger stuck out to slide into the trigger area. One thing I will say is that this figure does come with a different blaster than what we got with the basic release in that 4-pack. I don't know which one is accurate to be with the figure or not. Maybe he just grabs whatever's laying around. I don't know. But anyways, that's the accessory he comes with. So overall, it's really a good looking figure. It's great to have a nice dirtied up weathered trooper and certainly one that has a bunch of articulation to it. And of course, as expected, no problem getting them to fit inside that assault tank. And that wraps up this look at the Imperial Assault Tank Driver. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.